Hello, welcome to Tendy Love and Care. I'm your host, Mike Lopez. Unfortunately, during the last month or so, we really haven't had that much going on as in terms of Tendy signings or news. But we managed to find out enough to a little show going. So, with that said, let's get started. On July 12th, the PHF finally announced their long-awaited expansion team into Montreal. The team will be barnstorming for the 2022-23 season, meaning they will not have a home rink per se, but instead they will be traveling throughout the province of Quebec to both promote the league and help build their fan base. As of this taping, the team has no name. So they are trying to get suggestions, I guess, build that interaction with fans for right now. As of now, the nameless team has signed 16 players, including former McGill Tendy Tricia DeGear, and former Montreal Canadian Tendy Marie Soleil Deschennes, or Deschenais. I think Deschenais. DeGear went 15-8-1 with a 2.0 goals against average, 929 save percentage, and 4 shutouts in her final season with McGill. Deschenais played 5 games with the Fabs, going 5-0 with 3 shutouts in her very limited action, before spending the last 3 seasons with the PWHPA. Fun fact, because things we're going to need to know. Goaltender in French is gardien de but, though most times you'll see it on the roster as gardien. 2 Tendies with ties to the PHF announced recently that they're going to have new podcasts. Beginning in September, Toronto 6 Tendy Carly Jackson joins Baseball Canada pitcher Zoe Hicks for More Than 5%. The show is meant to focus on women in the sports industry and their stories. Podcasts can be found at womensportsmatter.com. I will link it below. And you can follow them on Twitter at More Than 5 PCT. Again, I'll link it below. From what I've seen, the podcast is supposed to drop every Thursday starting in September. Another podcast that was announced is called Checkin Tendies. It's a podcast announced by Corwin Dickinson, the creator of PHF digital mascot Go E-Tender. They will be joined by former Toronto 6 Tendy Tara Hoffman and Jay Gray. The show will be about women's hockey, but nothing other than the name was announced. The show will be on the Inside the Rink network, and you can follow Checkin Tendies on Twitter at Checkin, that's CHECKIN _Tendies. We'll pass along any information if I get some more, and I will link both of them below in the description. Per Dan Rice, former Connecticut Whale Tendy Mary Reisenen is expected to be re-signing with the pod. Reisenen played in 12 games for the Whale during the 2018-19 season, when her season was unfortunately cut short when Hannah Brandt of the Minnesota Whitecaps ran into in route to scoring a goal, causing an undisclosed leg injury. Reisenen was out for most of the rest of the season. After playing for the Whale, she went back to her native Finland and wound up playing for AIK of the SDHL. She's then played for HBK's Nysten Liga. She played for HBK's U18 team. Played for JYP's U20 team. Also backup for Team Suomi at the 2022 Beijing Olympics, where she wound up taking home the bronze. Hopefully we'll get to see Mary Rising back on the ice again, because if you haven't seen her in person, she's definitely worth the price of admission. Tendy wound up signing with PHF teams and since the last time we filmed, excluding De Geer and Deschanel. Former Princeton Tendy Rachel McQuigg signs with the Metropolitan Riveters for a 1-year deal. In her last season, she put up a record of 10, 14, and 4, and basically just having a rebound year after having a season off due to the pandemic. Record of 10, 14, and 4, but she had a 1.88 goals against average and a 9.38 save percentage for the Princeton Tigers last season. Boston Pride signed former Quinnipiac MVP Corinne Schroeder. Schroeder played 40 seasons with Boston University before transferring to Quinnipiac for the 2021-22 season. She put up a record of 15-8-2 with a 1.44 goals against average and a 9.51 save percentage that year. In the Zinskaya Hockey League, Milania Tretiak re-signs with Bele Medvedci. Yuliana Nemilosteva extends her contract with Byerusa until 2025, and Ravilia Anulova and Elena Ashina signed with SKSO. In the National League, Roki signs tenders Yannicka Yarvikari and Yanita Hapasari. We have a big announcement, everyone. When the 2022-23 seasons are announced, whether it's AWHL, PWHPA, PHF, you name it, at 1011 Care we'll be having watch parties via Twitch. Again, link below. Once we get league schedules and what have you, we'll be able to put together a schedule and see what works for us so we can stream. I don't know if co-streams are possible, only because, you know, legalities. I know ESPN, who held the rights to the PHF games last year, I don't think they'll allow co-streaming. Again, I don't know all the legalities and what have you. Worst case scenario, it'll be me interacting with you guys on the screen. You know, we watching the game, having reactions. Yeah, so once all of that comes together, we will be making an announcement, and we will keep everybody posted. On July 29th, we learned of the passing of Wayne Hines. For those of you who don't know, Wayne was one of the OG fans. When the league was the NWHL, still finding its footing, still finding its fans. And he was a huge Connecticut Whale supporter. I've never personally met Wayne, but we did have a few Twitter interactions. Back in the early days of the league, there are a lot of small support groups starting up. You know, you'll see Rivs Nation, or there was Buttes Battalion. The Whitecaps have a support group, which unfortunately the name escapes me right now, but stuff like that. I had an idea for a Connecticut Whale support group. Thought it would be something interesting, you know, something fun to do. So I wound up putting together a couple of logos. Randy popped the idea onto Twitter, and that's when a buddy of mine got in touch with me and said, "Hey, have you reached out to Wayne? Wayne is going to be doing something for the Whale." It's like, why don't you reach out to him, see if you can, you know, work together and what have you. It was planning on coming up with the blog Cetacean Nation. So I took my logos, retooled them, and offered them to Wayne. I said, hey, if you can use them, please. And of course, Wayne wound up going to use them. Kind of want to read something from his obit that pretty much sums up Wayne's contributions to the league. His final great athletic venture was a fully original and volunteer effort to promote women's sports, particularly women's professional hockey. He interviewed players from all over the world, including Olympians. He was particularly instrumental in growing the fan base for the Connecticut Whale, which he celebrated on social media as Cetacean Nation Hockey. Through Cetacean Nation, Wayne brought player stories to the fans. He made players accessible at a time where blogs like the Ice Guarding and Victory Press were still getting off the ground. Outside of the, hey, look, we have a new league articles we got every couple of months. There really wasn't much. Through his actions and his storytelling, I truly believe that Wayne helped fans fall in love with the Whale. Even during those lean years, any diehard OG fan or any fan of the league will tell you that the Whale has a special place in their heart. And I truly believe that it's because of people like Wayne that the team has endeared themselves to the fans as much as they have. So I just wanted to say fins up, Wayne, and my condolences to your family.